Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Microsoft Teams for Education session with us. You guys have all entered into a brand new era in your school careers. You're the first generation that has been forced into digital transformation and how to work from all of this online at home, while your teachers are also trying to teach you from the online perspective as well. I'm hoping that on the call today we have got students from university plus scholars within tertiary and maybe some kids within the primary school state, because this is a game changer time we all live in, and Microsoft Teams for Education is also going to help you accumulate the skills you need for the workforce that you're going to be going into. All of us in the corporate world at the moment are having to get very used to working from home and all of the complexities and challenges that brings. So I hope you're going to enjoy the session. I'm going to introduce everybody to you. We have got Cindy, myself, and Andre in the background. They are working from home in other areas of Gauteng at the moment as well. So all of this is being done remotely, and we hope that you can create your tomorrow with us today. So this is the agenda we're going to be going through. I'm going to take you through the platform, the Microsoft Teams platform. What actually is it? What's the functionality? What are the things you have to do so you can connect with your other students and with educators? What I'm going to recommend that we've picked up through our years using Microsoft Teams in the corporate world. What does best practice look like? And how do we have etiquette in this space? Because our societies have been very used to doing etiquette when we're doing one-on-one and one-to-many in the classrooms, where people are actually live and sitting in front of you. So all of that has changed, and it's a bit of a game changer with the digital world. I'll take you through some of the high-level functionality, the terminology, what we look like with third-party applications, and then we'll have a look at, how do you manage your files, how are your teachers going to be sending you stuff, how are you going to receive your assignments and your gradings. And then I'm also going to refer you to the Microsoft Educator Center, where there are a lot of resources, content, pages, videos for both teachers, lecturers, students, and scholars. And I encourage you to go there and have a look and see what's available. I will give you that link towards the end of the session. And yeah, here we go. So this is where we are. So Microsoft Teams has tried to make school cool. It's a very different platform to the one we use in corporate world, because it meets a very different kind of need that you're all embracing at the moment. One of the things I want to tell you before we even start is there are lots of things to click and play with in Teams. Nothing you click and create is going to break the internet as such. So anything that you create and you go, whoops, I want to undo that, it's very easy to undo it. I have had a number of lectures already with teachers and with educators around the country, and I've shown them some of the functionality that they will use that you won't see as the learners on the other side. Your platform as learners is fractionally different and doesn't have all of the functionality. So let's go into this. One of the things that's really good with Microsoft Teams is you can download Microsoft Teams for education, and you can use it on your desktops, you can use it on your tablets, you can use it on your phones, in any of the browsers. So if you don't have access to a laptop, and when we, for example, are out of lockdown and you want to go to an internet cafe, you log into one of those browsers there and you're able to open up your account. You don't need to be saving anything in this space. Now, all of you as younger people, I'm sure, are very used to how do you store documents in the cloud rather than putting them in files that are hard copy, and everything updates into the cloud. So you can collect this information at any time on any device, and it all synchronizes in real time. So that's what we've got in terms of the devices. Everything in the cloud, when you do your saving and your storage of information, I would strongly suggest that you look at Microsoft's OneDrive, which is part of your education license. And I'll show you where you find that just now, but try and keep all of your files in a very systematic and ordered way so that you can use them at any time and find them easily as well as when you're trying to do things like return your assignments to teachers with the work that you've done. You're now not scratching around everywhere looking for stuff because you can't remember where you put it. So the OneDrive environment will give you plenty storage space for everything that you need within the Microsoft Teams and Microsoft OneDrive space. So this is where everything is. Teams is a platform where everything is connected. So to give you an idea around this, you can make calls on Teams to your other students, or you can make calls to your teachers. Those calls, I'll take you through what the etiquette around that looks like, but you're able to make these calls digitally without needing a cell phone, unless of course you're working on Microsoft Teams on your cell phone. So from your laptop, you'll be able to dial up other students, you'll be able to have a conversation with them, and you'll be able to have a chat with them, and the chat is obviously recorded in terms of its text. What we do in terms of recordings inside of the Teams classroom meetings that you have, recordings will be made available, and I'm going to show you some very cool functionality on how you can access that information if you haven't heard everything properly within your lesson, and you want to go back and try and remind yourself of some of the things that your educator was telling you. So that's Microsoft Teams itself. Inside of Microsoft Office 365, there are also these other services which connect automatically into Microsoft Teams. You do not have to go and try and find a way for your Word to be included inside Microsoft Teams. It's an automatic and seamless way of creating this stuff. So those logos that you see on the left-hand side, are the icons with some of the Office 365 services. You've got Word, Excel, PowerPoint across the top. Then you've got Outlook, where all of your mail and your calendar will sit. And you will also have a calendar inside of Microsoft Teams that synchronizes automatically to your Outlook. You've got the little purple icon with the end, that's OneNote, and then you've got SharePoint where your files are. For the purposes of this lesson that I'm giving for you today, SharePoint, we won't go into the discussion, but we will touch briefly on Microsoft Stream and very briefly on Planner as well. Now, what's really cool as well is that Microsoft Teams also enables you to bring in other applications outside of the Microsoft world. So what you can do is you can bring in learning material from various other applications. I will show you what we do with things like YouTube and how we manage to get information in there where you've got videos that your teacher might be uploading for you, and then you're able to click on the link and it opens up in YouTube in Microsoft Teams. So you don't have to have other windows open, you don't have to have YouTube open on your laptop. It all happens seamlessly in the background for you. You've also got OneNote over here for the classroom. That's the one here with a little badge on. You've got the submission of assignments and grading, which is the Satchel. And then you've got an application which Microsoft recently bought called Flipgrid. And I would strongly suggest that you go and visit flipgrid.com. It's a very, very cool place to go and have a look at stuff where you can record and create a video or an audio file which you can share when you're doing projects or you've got to give updates of what you're doing, all of those really cool things. And then you can bring in those videos and audio files and include them in Teams. So go and have a look at flipgrid.com when you've got a moment after this session. And yeah, I hope that you're going to enjoy being able to use that third-party application at the moment. So this is Microsoft 365, Office 365, and this is all the services that you will have access to as a student. So you've got your calendar, you've got your notebooks, you've got all sorts of other things that sit inside of here. I'm not going to go into all of these in detail because we don't have the time to do that. We'd be here all day if we did that. But the really important ones that you need to know about is OneNote, which is your class notebook where my cursor is circling at the moment. You're also going to obviously use Word and Excel and PowerPoint when you do presentations across various subjects that you're doing at school or university. You've got Planner, and this is a great way for everybody to see who's been assigned what tasks in group events. So for example, at a school, if you had decided that you're going to do a play in your grade and everybody was assigned a different task, it can be done in Planner, and everybody who is associated with that grade will be able to see what you've been assigned and where you are in getting your task done. I'm also going to show you Stream, which is a really cool place to go and find content, as I mentioned earlier. And I also want you to understand that there is a thing called Whiteboard, the bottom right-hand side here. I discussed this and demonstrated this to teachers yesterday. This is a place where the teachers can create a whiteboard for you to work on with everybody else. So instead of having the older days where you had a digital blackboard or a digital whiteboard inside of your classroom, or you had a chalk and blackboard situation in your classroom where only the teacher generally wrote on it, now you can be involved in being able to record your thoughts with the teacher in a very collaborative way. So let's go into Teams, and I'm going to show you what happens there. So if you give me a second, I just need to swing across into another one here. Just give me a second, please. Okay, so just let me go here. Right, so this is where you would be logging into Office 365. The address that you go to in terms of the URL is office.com. You don't have to worry about putting in this apps authorization equals 2. And what you will see is you will see essentially something that looks like this initially. Once you've got that, you can then click on All Apps, have a look and see what you've got there. So if you click on All Apps, now you've got that screen that I showed you just now, and you're up and away and you can start using these applications. So what we're going to do is if we clicked on Teams, straight away up would come this interface and this view of a screen that you would be using. And I'm going to take you through what all of this means here so that you understand the deeper functionality beyond what you may have been shown just after lockdown started, and you may not have a better view of this. So this purple row on the left-hand side of this column, that is called the rail. And at the top of this, there are 9 dots. We call that the Office 365 waffle because it looks like a waffle line. And if you click on that, you can start seeing all of those different applications. This activity is your feed. So what happens in the feed is wherever you are mentioned, and I'll show you how you mention people so that people get visibility of what you're trying to tell them, you will see everything that's going on inside of your classes and what your teachers are trying to communicate to you and what other students are trying to communicate to you. It will all appear in your feed. This is just like your Facebook feed, and those of you that I don't think at this stage have LinkedIn, but it's very similar to that kind of feed. You've got your chats, and your chats you will identify very easily with some of the platforms that you use at the moment, something like WhatsApp. You'll be able to see all of your chats and what happens inside of these chats. So you're able, for example, to go into this chat. This is me. I've been called Joe Soap for the purposes of this demonstration, and this is the Mint teacher. And the Mint teacher, for some reason, needed to advise us that this is where Seattle Coffee was on Witkoppen Road, and we're able to put some information there. Now you can have this communication. Let's meet here, and I'll go, okay, that's great, and off it goes. Now that's just the chat like you do with WhatsApp. So very easy, and you've got a record of the chat. You can go and find information that you may be looking for in here. I'm going to go, this text field where I was typing, okay, that's great just now, has got these other buttons for functionality down the bottom. Some of them are really cool, fun things, and other ones are going to be needed when you attach things to this and when you recognize your classmates or a teacher for doing something really cool. So I'll go into what these look like once we start getting into the Teams discussions. Going back to the rail, we can check in our Teams. We click over here in this little button over here. We can see in this situation that we've done, we've just created this for a demonstration purpose. It would be all of the teams that you have been connected into. So let's go into how would you be able to join a team. What will happen is, and I've discussed this with your with your teachers and your lecturers in the last couple of sessions we've run is they will create the team and invite you to the team. You should receive a notification by email that you've been invited or joined into a team. Once you join that team, you then will have access to all of the content. Once you're inside the team, you can't leave the team. So it's not going to help if you're going to join a team, get some of the content and then say, I'm out of here, and you just absolutely disappear into the distance. You can't leave the team. Another one regarding etiquette that you need to be aware of is your teachers do have functionality to turn off and mute you if you happen to be a student who is going to be constantly disrupting the class. So the days before where teachers were screaming and shouting to please keep quiet and don't do this and don't do that is going to be taken care of very quickly. And when you get muted, you're going to lose out on a lot of functionality. So I'm just giving you a heads up on this because Microsoft have considered all of this kind of behavioral stuff in this platform that they have created. So when you join or create a team, you can actually create a team yourselves. So let me give you an example as to why you would create a team. If you're working on a project like you've done before, I've seen it with my own children that when they're involved in projects, people are communicating backwards and forwards on either WhatsApp or they're phoning each other, or they've got other mechanisms, whatever it might be, to share what their thoughts are, what the content is that they're building, so that as a group they can make sure that they've got all of that content together. Now you can create a team. And what you do when you click this is you're going to be asked here. So let's go into this and call this the geography assignment A, if you've been put into groups, and you can create this. You just click next and away you go, you create the team. Once you've got this team that has been created, this is just doing this in the background for you, you can add people to this group. So let's go here, we're going to call in student number 2, here's Jane Doe, and we're going to add her. Now she's part of the team. So we want to also include in this, we want to go at Mint, because I know there's a Mint teacher. We want your teacher included in the group as well, because you may want to ask questions of him or her in the process of doing your assignment, and you can push add. And you can carry on adding as many people as you like into this team. What you've got to be careful of is you don't want to be in a situation where you now create where everybody is an owner. So there's an owner or member status. If you're a member, it means that you contribute to this team, but you can't add people and you can't remove people. So the owner would be the person. So what you should do is maybe in this instance, you allow the teacher to be an owner, but all of your friends that you invite to this will be members, and you as the person who created the team will also be an owner. Okay, so what happens is, there we go.
Sorry
Yes.
to Andre, yeah, we seem to have an issue with a lot of people not being able to see things are timing out and lagging. Could I ask you a favor to please stop sharing and let's reshare and let's see if it works then?
Sure, not a problem. I'll do that right away. Give me a second to do that.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I just want to get it sorted out for you.
It's no stress. So what I'm going to do, I've stopped sharing. I'll share it again. And are you happy with that now? Are they receiving that?
Okay, guys, just let us know in the Q&A if you are still having issues, please.
Are you getting any responses there, Andre?
Nothing new at this point in time.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back slightly and create a team again. I'm going to go back here just to reiterate this where I was, so that people can see how to do that. So let's just remove this team. I want to be able to delete this and we'll start again.
Okay, Craig, sorry. I just want to ask everyone, could you please, if you're still having issues, just reconnect to the session for those people that has got issues. Thank you.
Right, the reality of what we're experiencing there is something that you're going to experience while all of the digital infrastructure gets sorted out, particularly with schools and with joining into fiber networks that have now got very big load. These are some of the surprises that have been thrown at us in the last 3 weeks. And I know that everybody is doing their best to ramp up their knowledge and their fiber speeds and their bandwidths and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of the realities of where we are at the moment. Let's go back and create a team again. For those of you that may have missed that, you go to the top right hand side, you click join a team or create a team. You create this team. We chose this here as geography assignment. Group A, for example. Whoa, my spelling. Let's just go back and check that out. Okay. Now we click that. You've created the team. Sorry for those of you that have to watch this a second time, but it's really important for those of you that missed this that you can see this. You can add people into this by typing in the @ sign, and you will get the first name of whatever you want to do. Let's do that. We add that person. We go at student. There we go, student 2, and we add her, and so on and so on and so on. So that's how you do that. Let's make them the owner. And as I said earlier on, the owner has full functionality over the team. Don't make everybody the owner. Otherwise, you're going to have all sorts of random content coming at you that you may either not be appropriate for your project, or might just be noise in the background that you really don't need to have distressing you or taking your focus away. So there we go. We've closed that. Now we have this team. And you can go into this team either on this icon over here called the avatar, or you can click on these 3 dots. These 3 dots are called the ellipsis, and you click on that, and let's go to edit the team. So we want to make this look a little better. You see that the spelling error that I had, assignment, you can actually fix that over there, putting the N in. You want to have a description because it's a geography project, let's say, and you're thinking to yourself, I wonder what we're going to stick in here as our icon. So maybe this geography project has got something to do with forests. Let's do that. And saving the changes. And there you go. You'll see that the avatar has changed. Now for more terminology, and this is where you need to be aware of a couple of things. First of all, in this general channel. So this whole thing is a team. And inside of the team, you have a channel, which is basically the topics that you have within a team. Here's the files on the top right hand side, sorry, going up right, and then next to the icon here, you have posts and you have files. You can click on files and you will see a place. At the moment, there won't be any files inside of this which have been uploaded. I'm just waiting for that to populate. There we go. And you can upload your files to that. You can also then download files that are in there as well. And you can do all sorts of cool stuff in there, creating folders, renaming your documents, whatever you need to do. This little plus here is quite an interesting functionality. So let's go in here and we want to go and put something in. Let's say we've got something we want to include so the rest of our group can see what we're doing. So what you would do is we put down a PowerPoint presentation and we're going to say, call that deck forests slide deck. Okay, and we say that's all great, fantastic, want to post to that, we're happy with that. And okay, we wanted to do this, this is not saving now, let's give it a try again. Hopefully we'll get something here. This may be a connectivity problem that we've got. Okay, I'm sorry about this, but there might be a connectivity problem. It would normally create save, and you can add your file across the top here inside of the tab. These pluses are so that you can add other things across these tabs over here. So adding other applications, Word documents, Excel, all of that. So that is essentially the... Have you got
apologies
people?
For it seems like the majority of the people has got issues. Everybody's video is stuck, it's not loading, so it's a major issue. I think what we should maybe do is I don't know if it would be possible for the attendees to maybe rejoin at 11 o'clock. Or maybe we should move it to tomorrow. We will need to sort out this issue. I don't know if it's on Microsoft's side at this point in time, but everybody's getting to 15 minutes into the video and then everything just freezes and stops. A lot of people don't hear or anything like that. So we would need to resolve that. I'm just thinking the problem we're going to have now, if we end this live event, the link will change. Yeah, Craig, I think for now, go on, do the rest of the presentation. We will make a recording. Obviously, there's a recording of this, which we can then share on the website. Then we will let everybody know before the end of the meeting what's happening in the Q&A channel, and then we can maybe redo the session.
All right, thanks very much, Andre. To everybody who's on this webinar, my apologies, but infrastructure and speeds are outside of my control. So that's how you create a team. Now, if you wanted to go and create posts here, you can have a discussion with anybody who is in this team. So I want to show you how you use the @ functionality when it says type @ to mention somebody. So we can go type @ student Jane Doe, okay, because that's her email address. What you want to do is you're never going to have a conversation with somebody who's one of your friends using their first name and their surname in a conversation. It just sounds very clumsy and very awkward. So what you would do is you would just push this backspace key once and it takes out the surname, and you can type a message to Jane. Jane, have you seen the video on YouTube about forests? And you push enter, and Jane will respond. Now, this is where I want to teach you some of the etiquette involved in how you respond. This first statement is the beginning of a thread. So like you do on WhatsApp, when you want to talk back about a message that's been posted, you drag the little text box to the right on your screen and it allows you to respond about that comment. That's the same functionality. You just click reply and you can go along on this. Now, if I wanted to add some fun stuff in here, you can do it from here. You could also send a message if you click this with a lot more detail. You can make things bold, you can put highlights into this, and you can create a paragraph style, you can create links in there, all of that, okay? You can also attach a file to this. So if we went into the files and had a look inside of, this happens to be the only ones that I haven't got a geography file just yet. We're going to cancel that. You would add a file there. And you can also put in emojis, you can put in little GIFs. So let's put in Forrest and see what happens. I have a funny feeling that Forrest Gump might just be somewhere here, but he isn't. Great, so now what we can do is we can put this little GIF in and we post it to this channel. And there you go, there's just a little GIF showing you something to do with forests. You can also then meet now. So everybody in this channel, if you click this here, this little, it looks like a cross between a video camera and a microphone. It's one of those weird icons. If you click that, everybody in this group will suddenly be able to meet immediately because it'll notify everybody you're wanting to chat to them. You don't have to go and set up a formalized meeting that you're going to have at 12:30 on Thursday. You can just meet now and have a discussion about some stuff you wanted to get on with and move on. Now, if somebody comes along and says, these people have done really awesome work, you can click this little badge here, which is your praise, and you can praise people for work that they've done. So somebody's done some really cool stuff in this and they helped you. So we want to nominate that person and we're going to put there at student, and let's see which student helped us out here. Let's go here. Let's go to Jane or to Joe. Geez, Jane, let's go. Okay, Jane Doe. All right, and you want to add a personalized note. You say thanks for getting pizza, not in this lockdown phase, for the group, and you push preview. You'll be able to see what it's about and you send it. Now that posts to this channel. You will see that this has been posted to the channel. So that gives you some of the functionality that's going on here. Let's move along a little bit further and we go to stream. I want you to be able to look at this kind of content that comes through. So if we were to go into Microsoft Home here, and you see the stream icon on the right hand side, what you do is you click on that and it'll take you through to a interface that looks like this. You obviously won't have this remote learning with Microsoft Edu because I've uploaded this video into Stream by pasting a link to it. And what happens is the video gets uploaded into Stream. It's stored in the cloud. But the really cool stuff that happens is within about half an hour, Microsoft Cloud, the Azure Cloud, they process this video and they come back and they give you a transcript of everything that was said in that video and in that session with a time, how many minutes it was into that. Now, what's really cool is if you were sitting here and you were talking to your teacher and you said, I remember you saying something about training. Let's type in the word training into that search bar and you push enter. And what happens is this goes and looks through that entire transcript for you for where the word training has been mentioned. It's just taking a little bit of time. Give it a second. And then you'll be able to go and listen to exactly that point. Let's try another word. Let's go to online. I'm wondering whether I'm having the speed issues and not all of you. Seems to be going very, very slowly. I'll come back to this. Hopefully it's found it when we come back to that for the sake of time. So we go back here and here's your assignments. So your assignments, you need to go along and you need to go and have a look at this every single day at some point, because if let's say you're involved in the English grade 8 class and you click next, you will see the assignments that have been sent to you. So here's one that was sent through. It was reading from the set work, which is Shakespeare. It's due on the 24th of April by midnight, and it's under the tag called literature. And you think, I wonder what the hell that's about. We click there and you'll see the instructions. Please read the first 5 chapters and write a report on what you believe the author is trying to communicate that would apply in the modern world. You then do that work and you do it, for example, in Word or in a PowerPoint. You get that completed and then you can go along and you click add work. So if you click that, you can then upload the file to the assignment and you hand it in. So if you click that, you'll get the hand in. All right, there you go. Cool, you've handed it in. In the reading of the set work, this rubric will tell you how do you earn the points. This is what your teachers will set up, not Microsoft Teams. So if you communicated the idea and it's been really valid and it's achieved, you'll get the 10. You'll get partly achieved 7, confused understanding is 4, and no understanding is 1 point, and you'll see there's a weighting. So 75% of your result relates to these criteria for your assignment. And neatness of the report contributes 25% to that. And you'll close that just so you've had an understanding. Now what's happened is you go back here, and let's just go back here. We'll quickly go back to assignments. I'm just trying to make sure that I can show you something that has happened. Okay, so nothing assigned, but what have you completed? Here we go. Reading from the set work Shakespeare has been submitted. It's over here and it's gone through to your teacher now for grading and for marking. So it's a really clever way of being able to use digital technology to submit your assignments without having to be paper that's got to be scanned and it's got to be put into a file, and then the file's got to be renamed and then it's got to be uploaded. So it's very cool functionality there as well. I want you to go into your calendar. In your calendars as students, you will find, and this is a blank calendar at the moment because this is a demo environment, you will find that where your teachers have created your lessons, it's like a meeting in business, but side and you go and meet in that thing, you will find that if you clicked on one of these functions here, it will automatically take you to a link which sits inside of this text, or if you just click it, you will be asked to join the meeting. Then you meet, you can also create a new meeting. So let's do one for that geography. Let's go here, geography assignment, or I think we called it project if I'm not mistaken. Catch up. and chat, right? You're going to invite your friends to that. You don't have to type their names in here. What you do is you click this add channel and you will see, oh, it's in the geography assignment. That's the one you're talking about. And you want the general. It's going to send an email to every single one of the people inside of that assignment and make sure that they can have visibility to have this catch up. So just giving you some sight of that. And you will also then be able to have that chat within Teams. So when did you want to have this meeting? You can have this, let's say we wanted to have a chat about where we've got here. This is April the 17th, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, finishing off at 11:30. That's all cool. And the location, we just type in these days online because everything is being done online. And you can give some information. Hi guys, let's chat about the progress we have made. Cheers, Joe. All right, and now you send that. You will see that that now appears in my calendar here on Friday, and everybody else will have received that message as well. If we go back to the team, the geography assignment, you will see here in the posts, here is that one here. Remember, the people who are in the assignment is only you and the teacher and your other colleagues who are busy doing the project with you, not the entire grade, because you created a separate project. So you can click that and you'll be taken straight through and you join this. When you join this, it says allow your microphone and use your calendar. We can say allow. So what we're going to do is there's me working away here. I'm just going to turn the video. In fact, I'll leave the video at the moment because I want to show you some of the functionality that exists here. So this is me sitting at my desk doing my stuff. And if you click this ellipsis here, which is more options, it will take you through this. You can take it as a full screen. You can put in a keypad if you're making a call. You can't make calls to people outside of your school environment or your university environment. It's a separate license which you have to pay for. You can say show meeting notes, and on the right hand side would be everything that people are writing about the notes. It comes up in this video call. So that's really cool functionality that's there as well. And if you click the chat, now you've got the chat over here. You've got the notes we're showing in full. This is now where your chat is. Remember, your notes is where you're making notes around the subject. And you can see who the participants are in this. Suggestions was Jane and Mint because they were all invited, but it's just me as the organizer who is involved in this at the moment. So let's go out of this part. I'm just going to hang up on this end of the call and you should still see me, or not see me, but you can hear me. The call quality was pretty good in that instance, and we carry on. So let's just quickly go down this rail here. You will see at the bottom of the rail, there is this download with a picture of a monitor there. That's so that you can download the desktop app. You don't have to work on the online version. In my business world, this little icon that where my cursor is circling now, that's my Teams for work, which I have. You can download it and have your Teams for Education in your taskbar on your computer. So that is the functionality that goes along here quite seamlessly. And you will also see, let's go into meeting notes. This may or may not work depending on what we've got with our project at the moment. Meeting notes is where you will take all of your notes for that meeting. So now you can see it's come across and it's landed on the tab, and you can do that. Now, what else do you want to add to this? Oh, okay, fine. We want to add that stream video. You can click that, and it's saying to me, please, can I go and have a look and see which one it is? So I'm going to go back over to stream. This one here, I need people to be seeing. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy this link. So if I go here, I'm just struggling with some, there we go. Look at that there. That's the thing I wanted to show you just now. This has now been processed. You can see where the word online was mentioned at 22 minutes and 55 seconds into that video. So if I click that, you will see that's where it is in the video. You can see like it is on YouTube. That's where your marker is, or your slider, showing you where in the video that is, where it was mentioned, and you'll be able to see the words going on thereafter. So this is really, really nice functionality for this. So my content, we go to the videos, which we had. Oopsie, this is now going a little bit south. Give me a second, please. Right, so what I want to do is I want to just share this. Here is the link that I had earlier on. So I copy that link and I go back to the general and I paste this. And you'll see up comes this text box underneath. It says, is that the video you're speaking about? Yep, that's the one. So we're going to push save. And now what happens is this will pop up on the top here of your team. There's the video, which if you click it, you can then open it at the bottom. I just want to pause this. There we go. The bottom right-hand side, there's Microsoft Stream, that little logo with the origami arrow. You click that and it'll take you through to Microsoft Stream, where I showed you the functionality a little bit earlier on. Your files that you may need to have, these are all your files. Where are your files? They may be recent files or files in Teams, Microsoft Teams, or in OneDrive. And you'll see all of the stuff that you've been using in the last short while. Let's go back to Teams so you can remind yourselves that if we go out of here and we go to English Grade 8, here's all of the files that were uploaded for this. This happens to be class materials. And when you see the folder called class materials, there is this little icon over here. It says no editing allowed. Only your teachers and lecturers can upload material into the class materials folder. You as the scholar or the student are able to look at it. You can't amend it, edit it, and you certainly can't delete it. And you can't upload any of your files into that. It's just so that we keep all of the syllabus content in one place. Right, so that's where we are with that functionality down there. If you need help, let's just go to the help over here. On the rail on the left-hand side, second from the bottom, you click this. You can go into Microsoft Training. And when you go there, you will see tons, absolutely plenty videos that are very short. They're all sort of 1 minute to 2 minutes long, which will tell you how to do very simple little functionality within Teams. So if you've got extra time, go and have a look through that, because it may just give you a reminder on some of the stuff that I've taken you through. Let's quickly go back here. I'm going to just go back to the Teams. Top right-hand side, you will see there's this avatar. This avatar happens to be me. I can change that picture like you would do on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever you want to do. You can change your avatar and you can set a status message. So if you're going into a class, go along, or a lecture, click do not disturb. The reason I say that is because then you get no notifications disrupting you, because you might be inside of the class and you've got some other people in other classes, or on a project you're working with other people who are not in that class. They're not in that English class with you. All of their commentary and stuff will be coming up in the bottom right-hand side and giving you feedback of what's going on, and it's quite distracting. So you can always go back and you can make this available. If you're in busy, it'll still give you your notifications. And then if you happen to step away from your desk and you want to go and have a bite to eat in the kitchen, or you just want to go and chill out in the sun for a little bit to get a break, you can click be right back. I would recommend that you don't try to be right back in the middle of your lectures. It's kind of a bit rude. So what we got there is that's the profile. I'm just going to change that back to available. And that gives you a view of what this entire interface starts to look like and where you can do this. Last thing I wanted to touch base with you is you see this English Grade 8 team that, for example, you may be a part of. These different topics are the channels, and each channel has its own set of tabs across the top. This has got posts, files, and notes. Creative writing has got the same thing. That automatically populates that posts, files, and notes. And you can see all the different topics that go on in English have been included inside of these channels. This managing the channels, you can add members to this. You will not have the functionality to add a member, because what happens is as soon as that happens, your teacher will receive a notification saying a request has been put in to add a certain member to the team, and they can moderate it. They can say yes or no, depending on who that person is. So that gives you a very broad overview of that functionality. You can see here the comments and the emojis that have gone on inside of various chats here. So here we've got a comment, we've got another comment back in the same thread, and then you can use these as instantaneous emojis to say, yeah, I really like that, I love what you're doing, this is really funny, or otherwise you're making me mad, don't go there. So these are the functions that you can see within the chat space of this platform. I think that really has taken care of what you need to be looking at. Again, I want to just remind you of this @ functionality. As soon as you type @ it will give you access to who you want to communicate. So if you wanted to communicate with me, you backspace that, and I've just got my name, and then, and how are you? For example, you can do that. Okay, so that gives you a full view of what you should be receiving and doing with your teachers going forward. I hope that this session has been of assistance to a lot of you. I'm sorry for the connectivity issues that are outside of my control, and for those of you that may have missed some of this content. What I would suggest you do, now let me take you back to that presentation. I'm just going to pop in here and do that. Microsoft Educator Center. Go and have a look at all this amazing stuff that is going on in this online education universe. There is a huge amount of teaching material there, and ideas, and how you can share stuff with your other students, with your friends, how you keep everything together in this hub called Microsoft Teams. You can also go along and you can do some courses. If you've done the courses, go and have a look at a learning path. And then what you can do is you can go and say, wow, look at my achievements I've got. These are the kinds of things that employers of the future are looking for. They're looking for you to be coming out of school or varsity with some form of experience in the digital online space, because it doesn't help them to put you through the basics of some training that's available to you online and in your own time. So I would strongly recommend you go along, have a look at this website and see what you can pick up from there and do the courses. Some of them are really fun and some of them are really out there. There's one of the resources where NASA have teamed up with Microsoft and are sharing all sorts of really interesting information. So go and have a look and see. There's some really nice stuff, as I've said before. And then finally, you can go to our website, which is mintgroup.net. You'll be able to see all sorts of content there. If you go to the blog, you'll be able to go and see the different posts we have there around education and any of the other teams for education sessions that we may be running in the future. Tomorrow, I'll be talking to your teachers about how they work with Microsoft Teams to do your assignments and to do your gradings. So essentially, your teachers are now at the point where they are really ready to rock and roll within the school so that they can help you while you're on this lockdown and that you're at a distance from where you are. So that's what we have, and I hope that this has been really informative for everyone that did join. Thank you for your time, and if you do want to send us a note in any way, please visit the website. You will find places where you can communicate with us.